Today's episode is actually the 10 things we hate the most about America.
You know, I don't even have a proper visa yet. I don't know why it's a national treasure here.
Yeah, it's fluff. They turn the little touch screen down and you know exactly what that question is going to be. How much are you going to tip? We're moving into a cesspool of crime.
Welcome back to the Spicy Bit of Meat podcast. Over the last couple of weeks, we have been speaking to the spiciest of people.
Spiciest sausages.
I mean, yeah, some have sausages, some do not.
Oh, Jesus.
The spiciest people in the land. In fact, it's getting a bit too hot in here.
We listen to everyone out there, so to make sure that we're hitting everyone's palate, we're also including an episode series called Mild Bits. Now, we call it Mild Bits, but it'll be spicy because today's episode is actually the 10 things we hate the most about America.
Mild edition.
I want to preface it by saying we love America. But you can't be perfect, right?
We're going straight into it?
Well, I mean, I guess we already said it's going to be mild, but it's not. It's pretty controversial. I can already see the very patriotic people, you know, with a flag, a truck, a beer, ready to roll, with a pitchfork, ready to say, get out of my damn country. However, we're not saying we don't love it. We're saying we hate it. We're saying
we made a list. We put it in a box.
Improvement.
Yes.
That we are going to send. That we're going to send. Yes. We're going to send to the Illuminati to make changes around here.
I think that is the mildest conversation we could possibly have on this first Mild Bits episode. Let's get into it.
You start with what?
I'm scared.
So we have 10 things. Now, we have 10 things. Now, of course, when we talk, there's 10 things. There's more, but it's 10 things that kind of stood out to us on our move to the US. And I think that a lot of our friends and family who aren't from here, very intrigued by America, as I think the whole world is. I do think that people are very fascinated by America. It's like a big show that everyone kind of watches in on.
I mean, everybody that we speak to is confused why we moved to America. If you're a local, we always get the conversation, why'd you move here? Why didn't you go to Bali?
Or just Australia.
Or Australia. But I want to go backpacking across Asia. That is really cool. Well, we've done it. I haven't actually done that. I haven't done that at all.
You wouldn't backpack.
I wouldn't, no. I did do a hostel one time and it was actually really fun.
I've done many hostels.
Have you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Why'd you really?
Yeah.
When?
Hostels?
Yes.
Yeah.
When?
Like a what? What's a hostel to you?
Like one of those rooms where everyone lives in the same room and we sleep on top of each other. Not an orgy.
Hostel.
You know, it's cheaper than a hotel.
What about a motel? What's the difference between a motel and a hotel and a hostel? What's the difference between a motel, hotel, and hostel?
Hostel.
No, okay, let's get back on
Anyways.
track. I think that all my friends who are like, I'd never lived there, but they all would love to visit.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a cool place. So we're gonna provide or shed a little bit of light about a couple of foreigners with weird talking voices. Talk a little bit about our experience in America and a couple of the things that stand out to us that we've struggled with.
I mean, people say that your accent's weird.
When we talk, we're talking in generalizations. We don't mean everyone, but we might talk about it in a generalization because
I love that disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Very
It's important to note that when we talk about generalizations, we don't mean everyone. Like, we're not talking about you behind the camera, or we are talking about you behind the camera. You know, that's kind of an ambiguous way to say.
No offense, but.
Yes, with all due respect, and then say whatever you like.
Yes.
Will Ferrell special, Ricky Bobby.
I met Tyler in Hong Kong 6.5 years ago. I grew up there. You grew up in Australia. For the first 2 years of our relationship, all I would say is, I want to move to America. I want to move to America. But you said no.
Well, I was working.
You were working and all that stuff.
We were established. And so wasn't the time.
Safety. We had the safety of our family.
I had my brother there.
Yeah.
But he didn't give me a security blanket.
He gave you what are those?
Little
Nuggies?
Yeah, he gave me a noogie, yes.
Is that what is it? What is
That's
it
a
called?
noogie.
Oh, it is? Okay. What about the wet wedgie?
A wet wedgie. We're getting off topic here.
But after how many years?
In 2021.
In 2021, we decided to make the big move to Austin, Texas?
Via internet searches, we decided on a limb that we'd move to the US without kind of any establishment, where we were going to be. We just wanted to be somewhere would be more affordable than where we were. So New York, LA, sorry, see you later. Austin was this kind of middle ground in Texas where it was more affordable, but it also we had a lot of references from people that we knew who had visited and said it was their favorite place to go. So we've been here now for 2 years and we feel like we've had a reasonable amount of time to be situated and feel like we can call this place our home. But it wasn't easy. It was not easy. Now, of course, some of our experiences won't be
the same as everybody.
They won't be the same as everyone else. A lot of people might have very different experiences, especially if you grew up here. Our experiences have geared our list of 10 things due to, the difficulties that we faced specifically around a move.
And I think moving to the other side of the world, there's going to be a transition period. It's not going to just be easy from the get-go.
Yeah.
And for us, I think it was about 2 years. I'm starting to really like it here. Do you want to start with the first one?
You're starting.
Okay. The first word on our list is immigration. I don't even have a proper visa yet.
Becca still can't leave the country. She's been here for 2 years.
Yeah. So I'm legal.
She's legal in the sense of we're reviewing you, but don't leave.
Because if you leave, then you can't come back.
Because we're still reviewing you.
I tell people, probably shouldn't tell people, but I'm not going to tell people.
What?
If you want to come to America for 2 years, just
apply for a visa. Yeah.
You can't get out.
Yeah, they won't get back to you for a while.
That's been the issue for me. I haven't been able to go back to Hong Kong or go to England and see my family. So
anywhere else.
Anywhere. Yeah, I can't even hop down to Mexico. It's been a weird 2 years where I've been stationed in America. America is massive, and it's been cool to see all the different states. Every state is a different country, it feels like.
Well, we will have a love list because we got plenty to love about, and I think that would make the love list is kind of how every state feels like a different country.
It's amazing.
But let's stay on point here.
On the hatred. Yeah. Okay. I haven't been able to leave the country for 2 years because I'm still in the visa process.
So immigration has affected you. It's also affected me, of course. I have an American mother, so I'm legally able to live here. However, because I never lived here before, I had to go through the whole process of being a grown-up and getting a social security and all the things that kind of come with it. I think that, the biggest problem is that I don't know who's working on the different cases, but not having a social security in the US is a big problem because you
might as well be from Mars.
Yes, because no one recognizes you. You can't get insurance. You can't get bank accounts. You can't do anything. Doesn't matter if you have money or you don't, whatever it is, no one wants to touch you. And
even if you're a spiced bit of meat, nobody wants to touch you.
It was very much, I think it was too spicy and they needed me to simmer down. So then because I didn't have that, I would call in basically every day because it was very risky to do anything. Like just walking out on the street without insurance scared the living shit out of me just because of the horror stories I hear about the medical industry here, which, well,
we'll get into later.
But
you should have had a social security.
It should have been easy. Yes, it should have been easy to get one because I was basically just saying, I've never lived here before. I need to get one, right? But America said to Tyler, you need to prove to us that you haven't lived here. And I was like, America, prove to me I have. I didn't win that battle. So I had to go back and find records of things that.
From when you were like 5 years old.
Yeah, technology has moved really quickly. Yeah. So in the space of 20 years, we're going from, very little documentation in terms of being able to just pick it up from the internet, Google search, get it, to having it all. You got to get records of things that maybe there isn't documentation of on the internet, like old school records. I had to go back and prove to America that I'd never lived here by saying I lived in Australia. Ringing every single day to try to find out what's happening with my case. And every single day, it's happening. It's coming along. It's just next in line. I got the same, it's next in the queue for about 4 weeks on the trot.
You were actually fourth in the queue for a long time.
Fourth in the queue for a long time. And I'd speak to like the same people. Yeah. They'd be like, oh, Spitzy. Oh, Tyler. T-Dog, how are you doing? T-Dog, and I'd always like, I don't want to shoot the shit. Let's find out where I'm at. You're like, T-Dog, look, listen, you're still fourth in the queue, but we'll get to you. And then I just happened to speak to the right person. So I think that a lesson to learn for anyone who's dealing with immigration, sometimes if it's your local immigration office, not maybe the whole federal one, which is a little bit harder in your case, is just keep pestering them, keep ringing up, because you might find a good person who's like, oh, wait a minute. Is this the one? Oh, come on in. Because that's all that happened.
That literally happened.
It took a lady just to look on her desk and go, you know what? Are you available tomorrow? Yes. Come on in. And I was waiting 2 to 3 months for just someone to give me that.
And then he became an American.
So I'm established here. I'm able to be here. Most people would say, why don't you just marry Beck? And that's
most people like me, I probably would ask that question.
But again, this is a whole nother debate that I get a lot of heat for, and it's got nothing to do with Beck. Yeah, it's not you, it's me. It's a totally different subject.
But we can talk about it. Let's talk about it right now.
No, it's not relevant because it would take me 20 minutes to explain and justify my reasoning. No, I never wanted Beck to.
No, I get it.
I never wanted to get married for the sake of document. This is a step that people take because they're not because of documentation, right? And so if the documentation thing was taken out of the picture, would have done it years ago. But because of it being strung to this, it will always linger over me.
That's the second thing I dislike about America.
Is Tyler. People would say, oh, that's just an excuse. But it's actually, I genuinely think it's something that I hold dearly to me. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't want to muddy it by saying, will you marry me? Okay, let's go get that visa. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it's going to be. If that wasn't in the picture, then it would be, will you marry me? Will you marry me? Because once you get the visa, Beck might just run away,
That's exactly. So he got it right out of the bag.
Strategically, This is a great decision on my part to just wait off as long as I can.
In fact, it really is just an excuse.
So actually, you're the bad one, not me. It's her because we're worried about you running away.
Yes, I am fast.
She's going to figure out that she's out of my league, and that's when it gets worrying. So that's why I have to, keep an upper hand somehow, and that is this visa card.
Immigration has played a huge part in our relationship, and it's number one on why.
It's also, this order isn't by most hate to least hate. This is just a random order.
Immigration. Second thing that we dislike about America, the U.S. versions of TV shows and reality TV shows.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
Except The Office. And I'm really sorry, Ricky Gervais.
That's not reality TV.
The U.S. version of the TV show is
no, but we're talking specifically reality TV.
Spam call again.
We're talking specifically reality TV. So if we're talking about like Love Island. Love Island's a great show. And we watch it religiously.
It's iconic.
UK, Australian versions. American version
sucks.
It's total shit. And it's more because of the type of people that go on to the reality shows in the US that just kind of want to get famous.
Yeah.
They're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're not doing it for love.
We watch it though.
Oh, of course. Like, it's great trash TV. But then so some of the US like original reality TV shows are amazing. Amazing.
Like which ones?
Are You the One?
Are you the one? And then it got bad after season 6.
Well, it just started to kind of like every season, every reality show kind of starts to lose its thunder.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, same with Love Island. It's really starting to crash and burn.
It really is. Love Island Games. It's on Peacock. We don't have Peacock. That's another thing.
Like The Bachelor is the most scripted reality TV show. They're all scripted in a sense. But the emotion is real.
But in The Bachelor,
it's not real.
I don't know why it's a national treasure here.
Yeah, it's fluff.
It is the worst TV show we've ever watched. But Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise is great. But but it is like The Bachelor. They're so civil and formal.
Yeah.
We want trash. We want rubbish. We want to be nitty gritty dirty. You know, you want it to be like pull your hair out. We want, to really like, talk about your mother, like those real personal stuff where it gets really grimy. In The Bachelor, it feels so formal, like
they're not here for the right reasons.
Right, yeah, like that's just. I mean, even though we're complaining about them not being here for the right reasons, it's not gritty enough. Like we need some darkness, to the problems they have with the other contestants.
That and also the amount of streaming services that America has to offer
in order to watch the shows you want,
yes.
Right?
So you have a little bit on this platform, a little bit on this platform, but nothing all cohesive. So you have to buy each individual streaming service.
Yeah, so you're paying $5 to $15 per streaming service. So at the end of the day, if you want to watch all your shows, you're probably spending $150 because you want just this show from this place, just this show from this place.
And we will do it.
I'm pretty sure on Paramount Plus, we just watch we watch Survivor on.
Paramount Plus has...
Oh God, we're spending too much time.
We're really
emotive
about this.
Yeah, because it is art. That's really like that's our breath line. Like every single day, about 8, 9 p.m., we just tune out. We'll still be working on the laptop, but we'll have trashy TV on in the background. Use the comment space as a place to vent about your frustration about, the latest Love is Blind.
Island.
Or F-Boy Island, which is a fantastic show. Because that's why I said if it's originally from the US, they're better at it than if it's not an original US show.
Yeah. Anyways, number 3, tipping.
Oh. Okay, this one is really controversial because in the US, it's like it's very important, but then everywhere else in the world, they look in upon it and go, "What are you guys doing?"
Where I'm from, Hong Kong, the service fee is baked into the bill, so you don't have to tip. Actually, nobody ever really tips.
Forced. It's forced, and it's kind of distributed evenly, right? It's not like just like a bit of extra cash that you put on for the person that you're being served by. Same in Australia. Australians don't really tip. I've always tipped because my mother is American, so she made it part of our habit. But the weird thing about it is, it's not weird, but if you come to America, you tip for everything. Everything.
Ice cream.
Cone, this, there. And then they ask you this thing that you always know what it is. It's a big screen that they have that you've just put in your card, and they go, it's just going to ask you a question. And they turn the little touch screen down and you know exactly what that question is going to be. And that's how much you're going to tip. 30 or 25%, 20, 15. And it always has the metrics like 25% really good, 20% good, and then 50%
asshole.
Okay. Like they're making you feel bad for doing lower. And then some of the places, it doesn't even have 0. It has custom tip. So it means you have to spend time going custom tip $0, all whilst that ice cream cone person is just staring into your soul, judging you for everything you do. And the cream melts
down their hands, absorbing into the skin.
Yeah.
They just stare at you. And if you're taking the time to do a custom tip, it's very obvious.
Yes, they know exactly what you're doing. Half the battle is just dealing with the fact that you're being judged on everything you do right in front of you, like directly at the time. And that in itself is what I think is now causing me to tip. And we understand the whole hospitality industry here with the whole, like, they don't pay them enough as a waitress or a waiter, so they make their money on tips. That's fair.
And that's completely different to also the rest of the world.
Yes.
Well, where we're from.
It's become very, very messy. And
I think so, yeah.
Now, even if they're the biggest assholes, you still have to tip.
That's number 4. Really good service or really bad service. It's risky. It swings either side. And I think it's more of also we're just not used to it. I've grown up my whole life and I didn't have to think about that extra little bit. So maybe I'm just being stingy.
You got to be a mathematician now and work out what it is, you know, and that's also.
I think people who have grown up in America know how to put it into their phone calculator, exactly how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
We get like tremendous service at say Best Buy, but we can't tip them. But then you go to like certain restaurants and like some of them just don't want to help you at all.
Strange.
And you're forced to tip them. I think the best way to describe America, because always population is so big, so you're going to have this. They have the best people in the world and the worst at the same time, you know? Like you've got like some of the greatest people we've ever met. And then also some of the worst, you know, serial killers and things.
Ted
Bundy's American.
Yeah. I don't know the latest serial killer yet. But that's quite a...
That's it. No, that's another hate list.
The next one is serial killers.
As we determined America was our next spot, and Texas specifically was where we were moving, had it all ready to go and we were moving, we started to realize that, because we're big, what do you call crimophobes? People that watch crime documentaries?
I'd say crimeaholics.
Crimeaholics, people that just avidly watch crime documentaries. We love it. Netflix does a great documentary.
They do great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And
what was your gateway documentary? Making a Murderer. Yeah.
That was the thing that got me over the line. Yeah. Although when I was younger, I used to watch this like evil his name was Dr. Stone, and he rated serial killers on a list of 1 to 22. Don't tell me why it was 22, but 22 was the worst, most evil. And that was where I originally started. If you're number 1
evil, you're like the worst at being the worst.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Exactly. You're worse, but they don't really recognize how bad you are.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
It's like when you're in the top 100 famous people and you're like 100.
You're the D list of murderers.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because a lot of those murderers actually do it to be on the A list.
I'll tell you who are in the A list, people in America.
They're all. It's a lot in Texas too. It's kind of crazy. That's why I was going to say, like, we didn't even realize all this. And then we started to realize as we were watching, we're like, holy crap, we're moving there. And they're all there. And they're all there. And so we started to realize we're moving into a cesspool of crime.
I will say though, like what you see on the news doesn't represent what you see on a day-to-day basis in America, even in the rest of the world too. Like what was happening in Hong Kong and what is happening in Hong Kong.
But that's funny because like the news is the original clickbaiters.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone's like, oh, clickbait on YouTube. But the news is now the clickbaiters.
There's so much clickbaiting. Email marketing, that's another clickbaiting.
We get clickbaited by all the time. I get marketing emails that say like I've replied and they're replying to me and I open it. It's like, here's your offer. I'm like, God damn it. You got me to click. Now I'm interested in the offer. Damn it. That's too hard to not get. And then I get another phone.
I literally have 5 spam calls that have called me in this last hour. Or it's just my other boyfriend.
Oh, do you have them as spam? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let me just pick it up and hear them out. Hey, babe.
Another
credit system.
I don't even get it. I really don't understand it.
Okay, this will be quick and sharp. Yeah. Credit system sucks. It's better to have bad credit than it is to have no credit. So don't do it. Just get credit, even if it's bad credit. That's bad advice. But
just say not financial advice, and then you.
Yeah, this is not financial advice, but bad credit is better than no credit. So I've been struggling with that. We both have been struggling with that since we got here. No one wants to go near us. It doesn't matter. You know, I've been good. Come check my records overseas. And they're like, you're in America now, boy. We don't care about that.
That doesn't matter. Yeah.
It don't matter. And it's crazy because it's like the credit system works in this way where you have to prove to be good at paying it back. But how do you prove it? By starting it, right?
But you can't start it until you prove that you're good at paying it back.
So I went into to get a car loan. Wanted to buy a car. Can I get a car loan? Sorry, mate. You haven't proved to us you can pay off a car loan. Okay, Mr. Car Loan Man, how do I get a car loan? You need.
Is that his last name?
Yes, he's Mr. Car Loan, the inventor of the car loan. His name was David Car Loan, and he said, "Okay, well, you need to get a car loan before you can get a car loan." And I was like, "How do I do that?" He's like, "Well, you need to prove to us you can pay off a car loan before you can get this car loan." I was was like, that sounds fair. That's a good idea. How do I do that?
Get a car loan.
Get a car loan. So that's kind of how the system works. Like, how do you prove that you can pay off a mortgage? By paying off a mortgage. And so my entire problem was that I didn't have any proof of paying back anything in this country. So everyone was like, well, don't come to us. You haven't proved it. And I'm like, well, who do I prove it to? There was no one that wanted me to prove it to him. No one wanted me to go, give me a chance. Just give me a shot.
How does that
I'll
make you
give you a little
feel?
bit now, and then I'll give you a little bit later, and they'll give you a little. Not us, mate. Not us. No
Start
one
young.
So now what I'm doing in rebellion is bad credit. And then they're going to be angry like, oh, why aren't you paying your stuff back? Because you didn't put faith in me in the start. So now I'm going to put less faith in you.
But then they might
Stop giving me credit.
Yeah, and they might redact your American citizenship, then I can't get married to you, and then like it will all just be a bit foo-farry.
I haven't thought it through yet, but it's just, it's kind of a bitterness that I have on that side.
Next one. Why does everyone drive here?
Public transport system?
Public transport. Okay. In New York Fair, there's trains and stuff.
But they're pretty sketchy.
There's some funny stuff on that train.
Yeah, like the
on
MTR. The MTR in Hong Kong is sweet. You're not worried about any craziness.
I don't think people know what an MTR is if you're not from Hong Kong.
Underground speed train comes every 2 minutes.
The best system, the best invention. An underground train, it's clean, it's fast. Every train comes 2 minutes each time.
Yeah. And no food, no drinks, so there's never rubbish on it. And you go on and it's all standing, which is a little bit kind of confronting. But when I grew up, when I was going, when I had to go to school every day, I'd have to plan out the time of when I went, because if I didn't go at the right time, I'd miss the train. And then I'd have to wait 30 minutes for the next one.
Okay, so it's not just an America thing. I think just like...
Well, it's a big country thing, little country thing. They've got little country, so they can manage an infrastructure for it. And
I call it big pond energy.
Yeah. Big. Don't understand that quote. She tried to tell it to me before.
I was making a list.
Understand it.
We were making the list in the car.
And she said big pond energy. And I was
America has big pond energy. Hong Kong, little pond energy, immaculate train system. And I grew up with an immaculate train system, so I could get anywhere in Hong Kong.
So little dick energy is good? Is good then?
Well,
that's kind of what you're referencing?
Big dick energy bad? BDE. I'll say BDE.
I thought it just means you're like confident or something.
No, it just means that you've...
But it doesn't mean you have a genuine hammer on you.
Is this your hammer?
Yeah, hammer, yeah.
Why is it here?
Oh, it's just like
you need to go down this way.
Yeah,
anyways.
Okay. Like a... Is that, but does it, so if someone says you got big dick energy, it means I have a little one, but I'm presenting like I have a big one.
Yeah.
But little dick energy means I'm presenting like a little one, but I got an absolute hammer.
Schlong,
yeah.
Don't know why I said schlong. Probably shouldn't have said that. But Hong Kong, I grew up with really, really good public transport, and all I can say is I can't drive, and it's been really
and you
difficult.
Can't. It's a big country, big place, and so it's tough to get about without
a car.
So it's on the hate list now. That's not it's not. Like we said, we're generalizing.
And it's for me, because if I could drive, then fair. That'd be fine. I should learn how to drive.
The last one
is a biggie.
What's the last one?
It's the healthcare sitch.
This one is just
pretty intense.
Yeah, this one's an intense one. So I got severely injured at the start of the year. That could be a whole nother podcast. Yeah. And dealing with the medical industry here is a big toughie. In a lot of places it is, but here it's
scary.
Just anyone who comes here, make sure you get insurance. That's why it was such a problem for me not to have it, and why the Social Security thing was an issue.
But then you did get health insurance. It's very, very expensive. And you were considering, was it 2 weeks before it happened?
Well, you're considering lowering the insurance coverage. I was paying so much, and I was considering to actually move away from that provider, or just get less of less protection. And then 2 weeks later, I sustained an injury that is amounting to an astronomical medical bill, and
a number I don't even know how to write down.
And I think it's more against the insurance industry, which is the real griminess, because it's the Wild West. You don't know who to go with, you don't know what they're doing, and there's all this fine print. And all these things. So I found a broker that was helping me, and he's been amazing. Sai, if you're out there, you're an amazing dude.
Big shout out to Sai.
He helps me with all of it. But really, what it is the insurance company is saying, hey, come to us, pay us this much. You get peace of mind. You can sleep at night. We're going to let you sleep at night because if anything happens to you, we got your back. And then as soon as you go, Mr. Insurance Man or Mr. Insurance Lady, I've just had a little boo-boo. Can you now come and help me? And then they go, wait just 1 second. Where's the department to find loopholes on how not to protect this man? And then they'll come back to you and go, sorry, we can only do this much. What about the peace of mind? Well, now you need us. And that's the kind of the interesting thing here, and the interesting dilemma is the marketing is really, really powerful here. Really powerful marketing.
It's amazing. The packaging on food as well.
Unbelievable. But then once you get the service, you start to realize, wait a minute, it's
slightly different.
It's not what you kind of wanted. And then you're like, too late now.
Peace of mind.
Yes.
More like mind in pieces.
Wow. Very good. The entire time I'm now fighting with them to try to get them to pay the things that they said they were going to pay for in the start. Mm-hmm. Now we're hoping it all ends well, but it's literally, 9 months later, it's 9 months later and I'm still having phone calls about bills that aren't being paid. And I'm like, hey, don't talk to me. It's them.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I almost am like, well, I don't care what you're not getting paid if you don't get them to pay it. And so it's this kind of like, well, we don't care because we're just going to come after you.
Yeah,
we have this 10 list, which we could talk about this for 5 hours. So maybe we'll do another episode of it. However, what we will say is that also we have 10 loves that will overpower the bads. And
it's been fun. I really, really, really like that we moved here.
And we've met some of the greatest people we've ever met in our lives. Yeah. Just real amazing people.
There's a lot of things that we can branch out onto in the, what is it, mild bits or mild conversations? What are we calling it?
Mild bits.
Mild bits. There's a lot of different branches of conversations we can have in this mild bits section of the podcast.
So make sure you leave a comment. Let us know what type of things you would like us to talk about. Leave it in your 5-star review because you're going to leave a 5-star review. And in that 5-star review, tell us what you want us to talk about. So even if you've just come here and you've never heard us speak before, leave a 5-star review with your customer support query. I think that's a good way to do it because we won't see it. If it's 4 stars or below, we won't see it. If it's 5 stars, then we'll get flagged and be like,
When I first met Tyler, and a couple years in, he would always say, you're an investment.
No, I've never said that. But I have said you're 4 out of 5 stars.
And I don't get those comments. I don't get those critiques.
Banter.
Yeah. Please invest in our podcast by leaving a 5-star review. No. Even if you don't think that it is there at this point, it will be there.
You're almost predicting. You're betting on a horse. We're the horses. And you're betting on us.
Thanks for watching the Spicy Bit of Meat podcast, Mild Bits segment.